1746. Monday, March the 17th. I took my leave of Newcastle and set out with Mr. Downes and Mr. Shepherd. But when we came to Smeaton, Mr. Downes was so ill that he could go no further. When Mr. Shepherd and I left Smeaton, my horse was so exceedingly lame that I was afraid I must have lain by too. We could not discern what it was that was amiss, and yet he would scarcely set his foot to the ground. By riding thus 7 miles, I was thoroughly tired, and my head ached more than it had done for some months. What I here aver is the naked fact. Let every man account for it as he sees good. I then thought, cannot God heal either man or beast by any means or without any? Immediately my weariness and headache ceased, and my horse's lameness in the same instant. Nor did he halt any more either that day or the next. A very odd accident, this also. Friday, May the 30th, Bristol. I lit upon a poor, pretty, fluttering thing, lately come from Ireland and going to be a singer at the playhouse. She went in the evening to the chapel, and thence to the watch night, and was almost persuaded to be a Christian. Her convictions continued strong for a few days, but then her old acquaintance found her, and we saw her no more. Sunday, July the 6th, London. After talking largely with both the men and women leaders, we agreed it would prevent great expense, as well of health as of time and of money, if the poorer people of our society could be persuaded to leave off drinking of tea. We resolved ourselves to begin and set the example. I expected some difficulty in breaking off a custom of 26 years' standing, and, accordingly, the 3 first days my head ached more or less all day long, and I was half asleep from morning till night. The 3rd day, on Wednesday, in the afternoon, my memory failed almost entirely. In the evening I sought my remedy in prayer. On Thursday morning my headache was gone. My memory was as strong as ever. And I have found no inconvenience, but a sensible benefit in several respects, from that very day to this. Thursday the 17th. I finished the little collection which I had made among my friends for a lending stock. It did not amount to £30, which a few persons afterwards made up 50. And by this inconsiderable sum, above 250 persons were relieved in 1 year. Wesley encounters severe weather. 1747. Tuesday, February the 10th, London. My brother returned from the north, and I prepared to supply his place there. Sunday the 15th. I was very weak and faint, but on Monday the 16th I rose soon after 3, lively and strong, and found all my complaints were fled away like a dream. I was wondering the day before at the mildness of the weather, such as seldom attends me in my journeys. But my wonder now ceased. The wind was turned full north and blew so exceedingly hard and keen that when we came to Hatfield, neither my companions nor I had much use of our hands or feet. After resting an hour, we bore up again through the wind and snow, which drove full in our faces. But this was only a squall. In Baldock Field the storm began in earnest. The large hail drove so vehemently in our faces that we could not see, nor hardly breathe. However, before 2 o'clock we reached Baldock, where one met and conducted us safe to Potton. About 6 I preached to a serious congregation. Tuesday the 17th. We set out as soon as it was well light, but it was really hard work to get forward, for the frost would not well bear or break, and the untracked snow covering all the roads, we had much ado to keep our horses on their feet. Meantime, the wind rose higher and higher till it was ready to overturn both man and beast. However, after a short bait at Bugden, we pushed on and were met in the middle of an open field with so violent a storm of rain and hail as we had not had before. It drove through our coats, great and small, boots and everything, and yet froze as it fell, even upon our eyebrows, so that we had scarcely either strength or